Hey, Gear Geeks, we have for you, wait, the Synergy IR20. Yay! And why I say that is, well, this is about a year in the making. I waited too long. These have been out for a year, but let's go to the past. Randall was making these slide out trays since the early 2000s. They call them modules, and the RM series amplifiers were the ones that were used. So I had a 100 watt. These were 3 and 100 watt. The thing was mammoth, and I preferred a 50 watt, and a lot of people did. But soon, by the year 2008, Randall has kind of given up on all this. This Synergy came in and made themselves a corporation where they were actually building. What they did is purchased Randall and Egnater's patent on this module system. So with the patent in hand, Synergy did the smart thing because they're all business people and not so much engineers, is they hired some engineers. They hired Dave Friedman. Everybody's named Dave. Dave Randall, Dave Friedman. I don't know. And he, along with Bogner and Sildano, were in the game for Synergy to build something. Friedman, the gentleman Friedman, he already had, and you know his amplifiers, he was already thinking modules for to tap into the market of guitar players playing on desktops, computers, where they don't have a big studio. They don't do any of that. Don't have a big amplifier. They basically buy amplifiers online, or buy packets online from companies. So Friedman he already had the thing. So he got together with all of them, got together with Synergy. They built some of the modules. They have rack units and everything. And then a few years back, not too long ago, they started building amplifiers. They came out with the 30 watt. And why did I buy this one? That's going to be the key. And I'm going to open this up and show you why I bought the 20 watt, spin it this way, IR. Because they have the rack unit, and each one of these are kind of like buying a Roland V drum. Not one of them is going to have what you want entirely. You have to buy the best one you like, and then go ahead afterwards and purchase things to get what you really want in totality. Synergy has the rack units, had the desktops, and they decided to get into the amp world. The 30 watt one has, I forget. I think it was the two power amps. I'm losing it. I'm sorry. 2 power tubes, and I don't believe it had just one preamp tube used for something other than preamp for that rack unit. I know today in 2026, they have a rack unit that has 4 power tubes in it, produces 50 watts per channel, so that's 100 watts right and left, right? Can't separate that. 100 watts, and it has 2 preamp tubes. I wanted something to have more preamp tubes, and there's a reason why. In the modules themselves, there is 2 preamp tubes. 1, 2. Slide in and out tray. One of the last ones that Randall was making was this one. They didn't make too many. I kept this because I sold all the rest. But you slide this in and out. And this was available on that system on their smaller modules to their amplification to their rack unit. The 30-watt one, like I said, only had one preamp tube. The new are two preamp tubes. The new ones, the rack unit 100-watt has two preamp tubes and four power tubes. I want more preamp tubes to augment what you're getting here, because that would only be four preamp tubes or three preamp tubes, whereas your Engel and other big amplifiers have at least four preamp tubes to get that gain that might be needed for one of these modules. They're not all going to be clean channel. You might want one of the heavier ones. So the 50-watt head by Synergy. The 50-watt head by Synergy has two power tubes for 50 watts. It has, this is the back, it has three preamp tubes. Well, that'd be five preamp tubes. That'd be awesome. And that's what I was looking for. Now, let's look at the 20-watt one, which I ended up buying, that has impulse responsibility like you would have for the desktops. So we have a power, obviously, switch, but you have a USB to update and to go through some of these IR updates and customizing. You have MIDI control. MIDI controls on some of the bigger, more expensive units that are $2,000. So this one was $1,000 without modules. Balanced output. That's awesome. And you can run this without having an amp in it. You have to turn down the volume. The level for headphones, effects loop, which doesn't give you control over the effects loop. I believe this level is for the headphones. I'm not too sure on that. Yeah, this is just the headphone level, so your effects loop have no control. But you have the ability to use any type of amp, 4 ohm to 16 ohm. That's really nice. But when you go into no cab operation, you're able to use the IRs, and you can download different ones out of the ones that are built into it. And they give you the MIDI abilities, what it'll be to change them. You get a foot switch. Let's look at that in a second. But it's programmable. So this is awesome. You can program structures, meaning what's on, what's off in your loop. And just program it. It'll be in your pedal, meaning outboard stuff as well. Anything that's in the loop. Here's your IRs that are enclosed. So the ones that are built into this thing, if you go cabless, is, or go into a computer, 112 open back, 112 close back. And you can see how it's mic'd and stuff. You pause for that. And then a 112 EV. What is this? I don't know, some vintage. I'd be lying if I told you I know what that is. Then a 412 vintage 30s. Perfect for Soldano tones, they say right there. And that goes to show you that Synergy, Soldano, Bogner, Friedman, they're all involved in this. And here's some more. Look at all those. It's incredible. All in this $1,000. So you don't get this in anything. You get it in the rack unit, but you don't get this in the 50 watt or the 30 watt. This was something that in all of this was something that the connectivity, the USB, this was something they just popped together in the latest one. Your firmware updates off your USB. Limited 3-year warranty. And I believe they're not too far from here. Yeah, Commerce, California. So just like a lot of the gear I end up buying. I mean, Roland's right down the street. Yamaha, look at, they give you a MIDI cable that's thick. Not too plasticky, mostly rubbery. The plastic means it's just going to get hard and fray away really quick. Warranty card for a place that's right down the street. So this had to be sent from basically LAX area, Los Angeles International Airport area in California by the beach, all the way to Illinois and all the way back again. Or where it was built, probably China. I don't know. To open up the back. Oh my God, look at this. And they give you a printer cable. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Kemper didn't even do that. And what else here? Let's get a different angle so it's not so... There's a little better of an angle. Let's just balance it out here. So... Oh my, there it is. And this weighs a ton. It's like a brick. Oh my gosh, little light. Oh, the switches is not noisy at all. Clickless. They do not click. Oh my gosh, using the MIDI. That's so cool. Because again, when you use anything in the circuit, it'll record it. Wow, that's so cool. That's really cool. That's, yeah, that's thousands of dollars for an amplifier that they're giving you for $1,000 for this. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can do it on camera. I can't. It's too heavy. Almost there. Let's see. Let's do some magic of TV. So the foot switch was 2 pounds. This is a 2-pound foot switch. And just to give you some idea, because this thing's pretty small, here's one of the night trains, you know, a typical lunchbox. But not too much smaller than this Synergy. Boy, it sure does suck up the light in here. Okay. I'm just going to put some more light on it. It's kind of yellow or blue. But here. The 20 watt, which really isn't that heavy, to tell you the truth, has a tone control, volume control, master, and reactiveness. So what this does is it's like a blend. Here we go with the A, B, and C on these little lights here. And it lights up A, B, and C is how the amp reacts. So you have like a sag control. One's more saggy or classic sounding than another one. And so it basically is loose, mid, tight. Basically what it comes down to. And it has a clean built into it. So this is the only one that has a clean channel without a module built into it. They all have different tone knobs or knobs. They all have a different way the amplifier interacts with the world. So each of them are different. That's why and this one particular has this setup, and I chose it for $1,000. It has these 4 IRs built into them automatically. So if I go into a PA, there's 4 built in. More actually, with 16 or something. You've seen it on that manual. I just opened this up. I have not played it. Be kind of cool if that lit up. I could do that. Put a little red LED light behind it. So here's the back that I showed you in a magazine earlier. And you see that you're able to change power from, you know, different, depending on what country you are, your USB port, your MIDI port, your balanced XLR, 1/4-inch headphone with level. Is it turning? Oh, I can't even get this thing to turn. Wow. How does this thing even turn? Well, this thing ain't turning. Either that or... Interesting. That doesn't turn. So right off the bat, I have something that doesn't work. Okay, an effects loop. And they have the transformer right in the back, so it gets the heat right out that back shield. This is nice. And it kind of sucks that doesn't turn. Okay, I got the headphone level knob to turn. It just was a very little bit of turning. It's not what you normally would have in a complete and comforts. It was just a little bit of room. I mean, a little bit of turning. Okay, so there we go. There is that. And like I mentioned earlier, um, this is the one that has the clean channel built into it. It does have two preamp tubes. So not the preferable three that only one of them has, which is the 50 watt. Not even the 100 watt rack has that. But the 50 watt has three preamp tubes. They built an old 30 watt, I believe has two. So does this one, the 20 watt. But this one has a clean channel built in. And if I take my only module I have from the Randall RM series, just slides right in, and you twist the little twist knobs, which I won't bore you guys with. Well, maybe I will, because it's going so fast and easy. Well, there's that side, and then boom. Look at that. The modules today, not like when Randall did it, are split where you have two different channels there, along with the clean channel built into this thing. So it really makes it a special unit because of the clean channel built in, and it's really nice. So I will be auditioning this one soon. I have to get past myself with these Wang amplifiers. Got a little out of hand, but because of tariffs, it was easier to buy a mini at a time. So there is the Synergy, and there's a long story why I purchased this particular one and the variants they have. And next will be the video of me playing it without all this noise of me speaking. All right, Gear Geeks, you take care and have a good one.